François Bobo about ephemeron, which you will present us what it is precise. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. It's a joint work with Jean-Christophe Filiatre and Andrei Paskevich. And I changed the title because my advisor don't like the first one. So he's, as usual, he's right. So forgetful memorization in OCaml. I will describe some that memorization. All of you must know how that works, but in fact it's quite hard to do memorization that can forget what is not needed anymore. So what is memorization? So you have just one function f, and you want to memorize the application. So you have a cache. H is some dictionary, and when someone gets you a value, you first find you make a lookup, and if you compute before the value, you can answer in constant time, nearly in constant time, the result. If not, you compute it, you add the result in the cache, and you return the value. So here, first, on K1, you compute it and you have the value V1. And after that, on K2, you will have V2. And if K2 n is equal to K1, in constant time, you have the result. Oops. So here we trade time against space. And we want to avoid memory leaks. So if a key is not needed anymore, I want to remove it for this entry from the cache. And more particularly, if my keys are heap allocated, I can say that not needed anymore means not reachable. So I want the GC to guess and to know when key is not needed anymore, and so when the binding can be removed. Of course, when I say not reachable, it's apart from the cache. So now, some partial solution. So the naive solution, you have some traditional dictionary data structure, one hash table, a balanced tree, whatever, and your key, the binding are to the key and the value. And so here the problem is that your table is holding the key and the value. And so the key, if the table is reachable, the key are reachable, and so you can't reclaim the keys, all the keys. So it's really a big memory loss. So T should not hold pointers to keys. To do that, OCaml gives us a weak pointer. Value weakly point to value V1 weakly points to V2. If with V1 weakly points to V2, if V1 is reachable, the GC can reclaim V2. And in fact, in the OCaml runtime, the weak pointer are given inside an array, and so you can take in an array of weak pointer in some cell. That will give you none if V2 has been reclaimed, or some V2 if it is not. So that's a good thing to be able to reach something, but not to hold it. Now OCaml gives us finalizer. A finalizer is a closure that is executed whenever the corresponding value is going to be reclaimed. And that's very handy for removing some data, for cleaning some stuff. So here, we will see what can be a better solution. So my key is here, and I associate for each key one identifier. So here I. And when I make a lookup, I just take the identifier. I see, here I have a value, and so the value is here. But now, if the T is reachable, K can be reclaimed. And so the finalizer is triggered, and I remove the binding from the table. So that seems to be what we want. And you can just make the same thing with the key to be a weak pointer. It's the same thing. But here the problem is that if your value v points to k, now when t is reachable, v is reachable, and so key is reachable. But perhaps I don't need any more key, so I don't need any more v and the binding. But the finalizer will not be triggered because k is reachable. So now t should not hold pointers to values either. Oh, so you can hold nothing. How can I do that? In fact, I can store the binding inside the key. Yeah, I need to have some help from the key. They must allow me to do that. But well, it says that I'm allowed to add my own hash table here with the key are now an identifier for the table. And so now, if the key is not reachable anymore, it can be reclaimed. And if the table can be reclaimed, I can remove the binding inside the key. And now, I can just, if you want to have here, you have one finalizer for each binding. So you can, if you want, use just one finalizer for one table, and you use here an hash set from the OCaml standard library, a weak hash set, and it's a good thing. And now, when v is points to k, I have just one cycle, but the garbage collector can reclaim all points. So that seems to be fairly good. And you can do the same thing in Haskell if you use a system.name.weak. And here you can see how if you want to implement that, you can have one type of cache with one integer, it's the identifier for the table. Here, one obj.t because your hash table is an heterogeneous one, because you have each table has the same type of value, but one key can appear in different table. So it must hold different value. Oh, it's just some key. And here you will say that the key is some value alpha, some key alpha, the cache. You can create a key. And when you memorize, you have a function that take a key and return beta. And so you do the thing in the first slide. And the key that gives you a memory extension from key to beta. I here some benchmark of with the three solution. In fact, it's the transformation of many proof tasks which share subterms. And in fact, the transformation are split into multiple smaller transformations that have different time living, so sometimes the table disappears. And here you can see that solution 1 and 2 don't reclaim memory. They just hold all the keys, so it's very bad. And here, with the third solution, key are the memory, there is less memory leaks. And you can see that takes less time because the garbage collector has to work less. So, super, I have a perfect solution. In fact, no, it's still not perfect. Why? Because in fact, the third solution that I showed you is just the second, just upside down. It's just the table and the key are interleaved. And in fact, K and T are symmetric in this problem, because if T is reachable from V, the cyclic issue is still there. But it's not very often that a value points to a table, yes? In fact, if you want to make if you want to memorize a function with multiple arguments, more than one, you need to memorize the partial application. So here, with the K combinator, K of x, y, give x, we first memorize the partial application to x. So here we do have K. which points, here we have x, and that is a partial application of k to x. And after that, the result is also memorized, and so here we have the application of k to x and y, and that would give you x. Okay? And here, if I hold the k combinator here, and I hold the y here, then y is reachable, and so x is reachable, and so t is reachable, and in fact, I have a cyclic issue, this cyclic issue here. And the finalizer on the table can be triggered because it is yet reachable. And in fact, what is interesting is that you can't, with the actual notion of reachability, something is reachable if some other value points to it and is reachable. You can't implement something perfect that if k or t are not reachable anymore, so the value will be reclaimed. It's not possible. And if you see in the literature, it exists some way to deal with that. It's called ephemerons. It's Heinz in 1997 don't invent the ephemerons, but in fact it was a secret, an industrial secret for some time, and so he released to all of us. And what is an ephemeron? An ephemeron is a pair where we have one weak pointer to a key and one strong pointer to the value if key is reachable. So if we have that, when V can be reclaimed if k or the ephemerons can be reclaimed. Here you can see normally you have just a one-to-one relation for reachability. Here it's a 2-to-1 relation. You must have two values reachable for V to be reachable. Is it okay? And here you can see the signature of some ephemerons that you can think of. Alpha is the type of key, beta is the type of value, and so you can create an ephemeron with a key and a value. You can check if the key is has been reclaimed or not. You can get the value if it has not been reclaimed, and so and you can get the key if it has not been reclaimed also. And how does that work for garbage collection? Because the ephemerons, you must modify the garbage collector in order to use ephemerons. So here we have three ephemerons. This one is reachable, and the key is reachable. Here we have an ephemeron that is not reachable, but the key is reachable. Here we have an ephemeron which is reachable, but the key is not reachable. These two cases are the worst case of, this one is the worst case for the solution 2, and here is the worst case for solution 3. And we'll see that ephemerons can deal with them. So it's just a garbage collector. On the usual value, it's the usual garbage collector. So you put a value in the gray queue. Now you put two children in the gray queue, and you put it in black. You take the first in the gray queue, and here you add the two ephemerons. But the ephemerons are not added in the gray queue, they are added in an ephemerons queue, another queue. But you work on the ephemeron queue only when there is not any value in the gray queue. So here there is one left, so I work on it. There is no children, so the gray queue is empty. Now I can work on the ephemeron. This ephemeron, the value, the key is not reachable. So I let the ephemerons in the ephemerons queue. now I see this one, the key is black, so I can gray the value, I put it in the gray queue, and I remove the ephemerons from the ephemerons queue. Now since the gray queue is not empty anymore, I work on it. This one has no children, it's okay. And now I come back to the ephemerons. The first one, I must do all the ephemerons that I have seen in the first phase. I must see them again, because if here I can have a pointer from this value to this one. So I must check that this value is still not reachable. It's the case. So now I have seen all the ephemerons, and I have not added some value in the gray queue. So I can remove the pointers that will become non-ling. And after that, I can remove I can go to the sweep phase. Here, this ephemerons, I never see it. In fact, in Haskell, if an ephemeron is the key of an ephemeron is reachable, even if the ephemeron is not reachable, we work on it, and so we have to add this one to the gray queue, and we have to add this one to the gray queue, and all of that is said like reachable, and so you have some, I think, memory. But yeah, so that's the difference with Haskell implementation. No, I modify the camel runtime, so an ephemeron I represent it with the tag 242, and one pointer to the key, one pointer to the value, and here is the next pointer. The next pointer is just the ephemerons queue that is used, is just a linked list of ephemerons. And so this one is the next pointer that I use for that. It just allows me to do no allocation for the ephemerons. It's just easy. So that add big O n times c operation to mark phase. So n with the number of ephemerons and c the longest chain of ephemerons. A chain is when you have an ephemeron with a value that are another ephemerons and the value are another ephemerons. Because you have to check all the ephemerons each time you add one value in the gray queue. That add 84 lines in Markenslice in major.gc.c and 60 lines in weak.c for the implementation of the module that you have seen before. And now, if you want one weak hash table, so it just you just have to modify the bucket list, and instead of a pair of alpha of the key and the value, it's just an ephemeron. And you have to change a little the implementation of hash table, but not so much. And the results are quite good, because here, with the former benchmark that you have seen, here in purple, you can see that the ephemeron has many memories than before, but use less time, because in fact the solutions tree use one hash set and one hash table for each key, so it's quite many memory. And here you just have the ephemerons, and so it's faster. Here also I can show some, I can construct some example where ephemerons can use less memory than the solution tree. In fact, when you have some application, some function with many arguments. But here, in fact, it's a Y3 benchmark, and we try, because we don't want to modify the camel runtime each time somebody wants to compile a Y3, to not be in the worst case of solution 3. At last, you can have more information on ephemerons in the ACE paper, the new finalization mechanism. Primi Vanipert in 2002 wrote HashWeak, which is tried to tackle the same problem with weak hash table, but the key and the value are weak, so it's not fit for memorization. since you can lose your key, your value, even if you hold the key. Then we write a weak table in 2007, but that don't release a key when there is a cycle from value to key. In fact, it's quietly like the solution 2, but in, I think, more complicated way. So that's it. Thank you for listening. Some question?
Did you measure the overhead in a program that doesn't use ephemerons at all, but is still using the modified account?
If you do that, you just have one if construct for each value, during just to test if it's an ephemeron or not. So it's really not huge. There is many if inside the garbage, the mark phase to see which kind of value it's, just that add you want.
Even if you use a weak hash table without the need of ephemeron?
If you use hash table without a
Weak hash
weak
table.
hash table, you say it of the camera runtime,
Yes.
the weak hash set. Yeah, in fact, it's that use just the weak pointer are here. It's just something parallel of a weak pointer. So that don't modify this code. And in fact, ephemeron use the implementation for weak pointer inside the minor GC, because it says that key is a minor when key is ephemeron is in the major stack heap, and there is a pointer. The key the key is a weak pointer, and the value is a strong pointer. So that can just so there, I think there is no just for one if, an overhead of one if and no two if. Two.
Is there any chance to
It's for them.
It's not clear because I don't like the worst case complexity.
Yeah, but with the C, the longest chain of ephemerons.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you have some.
Is there any way to do better with that?
You can, but in fact you need to have one inside the runtime. You need one hash table for looking if you, in fact, you register the ephemerons for each key. So you can say, no, there is no ephemeron for this key. So I can, I don't need to check all the ephemerons again. So you can, if you do that, in fact, it's in the paper. You can have a better. You can forget the C. But you have the complexity of the hash table for here, and so the memory for this kind of hash table. In fact, you can do better if you have a pointer from the key to the ephemeron. In fact, if you want to remove this C, you must know when something change an ephemeron or not. I think the C is the longest chain of ephemerons. I tried that on Y3 and I have not problem. I had some problem when my implementation was in n square. There I have seen problem, but in here I have no problem.
Okay, thank you very, very much for the talk.